It's small. It's dark. It smells strong, sharp, even. And it's probably sitting in your kitchen drawer right now, next to the cinnamon, maybe behind the salt. You've used it in soups. Your wife might have dropped it in a holiday recipe. But I doubt you've ever looked at it and thought, that could change everything. Because what if I told you this little brown bud, something you've walked past 100 times, might just be the most natural, powerful aphrodisiac you've never considered? What if it could improve blood flow to the places that matter, calm your nervous system, reawaken that spark inside you, and do it all without a single pill? Sounds too simple, doesn't it? But that's the point. We've been told that intimacy after 60 requires medication, injections, or resignation. That the fire fades, and once it's gone for good. But I've seen something different. I've seen what happens when you stop chasing performance and start listening to what your body has been quietly asking for. Today, I want to introduce you to an ingredient that's not sold as a miracle cure, but has been quietly working for centuries, in the kitchens of healers, in the rituals of ancient lovers, and in the systems of men who didn't give up. No hype. No pressure. Just nature. And one small spice that knows exactly how to speak to the man inside you. Stay with me, because in just a moment, you'll learn how this natural aphrodisiac works, why it's so effective for men over 60, and how to use it, simply, safely, and powerfully. Let's begin. I want to be honest with you. Most men don't lose intimacy because they no longer care. They lose it because they quietly believe they're supposed to. Somewhere around your late 50s or 60s, you start hearing things like, "It's just age. Be thankful you're still healthy." Or worse, men your age don't really need that kind of connection anymore, so you adapt. You stay quiet. You lower expectations. You joke about it. And deep down, maybe, you start believing that the spark was only meant to last a season. But here's the myth that's done more damage than aging ever could. That intimacy is about performance. It's not. Intimacy is about presence. It's about energy, warmth, emotional safety. And yes, desire. But desire doesn't disappear with age. It disappears with disconnection. Disconnection from your body. From your circulation. From your hormones. From the chemistry that once made you feel naturally ready, without even thinking about it. And when your body stops receiving the right signals, from your food, your breath, your environment, your nervous system does what it's designed to do. Shut it all down to conserve energy. That doesn't mean you're broken. It means your body is protecting itself. It's saving resources. It's quietly asking, are we done with this part of life? And if no one shows you how to answer that question differently, you'll start living like the answer is yes. But it's not. You're not done. You're not dry wood. You're an ember, still warm, still capable of lighting again. You just need the right combination of oxygen, breath, and spark. That's why the myth is so dangerous, because it convinces good men to give up on something their bodies are still capable of, and their hearts still crave. So today, I want you to know, if your energy has dropped, if intimacy feels distant, if you feel less like a man and more like an observer, you're not failing. You're simply waiting for the right signal. And in a moment, you'll meet the ingredient that might just deliver it. Not as a fix, but as a reminder that your biology still knows how to come back. So let's talk about it, the ingredient that doesn't come in a blue pill or a flashy package. It comes in a jar, on a spice rack, next to the cinnamon sticks you haven't touched since last Thanksgiving. It's called clove. Yes, clove. A small, dried flower bud. Hard, aromatic, with a scent that cuts through the air. Most people use it in baking, or to add flavor to stews. But what they don't know is this. Clove is one of the most powerful natural aphrodisiacs ever studied. In ancient cultures, it wasn't just a kitchen spice. It was a preparation ritual. Used by men before weddings, by warriors before battle, by healers to stir blood and awaken desire. And now? Modern science is finally catching up to what traditional medicine knew all along. What makes clove so powerful? It starts with a compound called eugenol. Eugenol is a potent natural vasodilator, meaning it helps open your blood vessels, especially the small, sensitive ones that are critical for male performance and sensation. When blood flow improves, so does everything else. Energy, warmth, confidence, even sleep and emotional clarity. But that's just the beginning. Clove also increases nitric oxide production, the very same biological pathway activated by most medications. Except clove doesn't force anything. It cooperates with your body. It also contains trace minerals like manganese and potassium, plus antioxidants that protect blood vessels from the oxidative stress that comes with aging and inflammation. And if that wasn't enough, clove is also an antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory powerhouse. It helps clean up the very systems that slow us down after 60, gut health, blood sugar, circulation, even brain fog. All in one little bud. Why most men miss it? Because no one told you. No doctor handed you cloves in a white bottle. No commercial aired at halftime shouting, "Try clove for better intimacy," but that doesn't make it less powerful. It makes it underrated, unbranded, and beautifully, unapologetically natural. It's not hype. It's just ancient truth rediscovered in your modern kitchen. So here's the question I ask every man over 60 who feels like something's missing. If nature already placed something this potent in your spice drawer, why not use it? Because you don't need to chase intimacy. You just need to awaken it. And sometimes, all it takes is one clove, one sip, and one small signal to start that return. Let's get real about what's happening inside your body, especially after 60. Because feeling off isn't random. It's not just age. It's chemistry, circulation, hormones, nervous system signals. And yes, blood flow to the parts of your body that used to respond without question. But when that flow weakens, you don't just lose function. You lose connection. That's where clove steps in. It doesn't just mask symptoms. It addresses the root: poor circulation, vascular stiffness, stress-inflamed tissues, and low nitric oxide output. Small diamond, the nitric oxide pathway. Let's start here, because this is big. Nitric oxide is your body's master signal for blood vessel relaxation. When nitric oxide levels drop, your arteries tighten, your blood slows, and performance fades. Clove naturally boosts nitric oxide production, especially when consumed in warm water or chewed whole. It gently tells your arteries, open up, relax, flow again, and that flow? It doesn't just help with intimacy, it helps with mental clarity, stamina, even sleep. Small diamond blood vessel support. Clove is rich in eugenol, a powerful natural vasodilator. It improves the elasticity of your blood vessels, which means they can expand when needed, especially in areas like the pelvis, brain, hands, and feet. So if your hands are cold, your feet tingle, or you feel numb, emotionally or physically, this may be the pathway that needs to be reawakened. Eugenol also reduces inflammation in the lining of your arteries, helping undo years of stress, poor sleep, and heavy meals. Small diamond hormone support through stress reduction. We can't talk about male intimacy without mentioning stress. When your stress hormone cortisol is high, your testosterone doesn't stand a chance. Cortisol shuts down libido. It tightens blood vessels. It literally blocks your ability to feel desire. Clove has been shown to lower cortisol naturally, helping rebalance your nervous system and free up space for testosterone to rise again, on its own. No patches, no injections. Just restoration. Small diamond sensory reconnection. Clove doesn't just affect what flows through your body, it impacts how your body feels. It contains compounds that awaken sensory nerves, enhancing sensation, awareness, and connection. That's what most men miss. It's not just about performance. It's about feeling more present in the moment, in your body, in your skin, in the experience. And sometimes, that starts with one small ingredient that reconnects all the systems that aging has slowly unplugged. Herb. So what does it do? In real terms? It brings warmth back to your hands and feet. It helps you wake up with energy. It helps you fall asleep more relaxed. It softens tension in your chest, belly, and groin. It helps you feel more available, physically and emotionally, all from a spice you've probably ignored for decades. Not because you weren't trying, but because no one told you this is how natural intimacy begins. Not with pressure, but with blood flow, nervous system safety, and sensory connection. And that's the gift of Clove. It doesn't give you anything artificial. It helps you remember what's already yours. His name was Everett. He was 72, retired, soft-spoken, and sharp as ever. He still fixed things around the house. Still did the Sunday crossword. Still showed up for his grandkids. But when he came to see me, he didn't talk about pain or memory loss or arthritis. He said something I'll never forget. "Doc, I'm not trying to be 30 again, I just miss feeling interested." I asked him to explain. He paused, looked at the floor, then said, "I miss wanting to reach for her. Not out of duty, but because I felt something real inside." He wasn't broken. He wasn't on any major medication. He just felt like his spark had dimmed. He wasn't sad. He wasn't depressed. He was simply disconnected from the part of him that used to move with curiosity. So I gave him a simple suggestion: try adding clove to his nighttime routine. The ritual, nothing fancy. Just 2 whole cloves, steeped in hot water, with a splash of cinnamon and raw honey. Sipped slowly, about 30 minutes after dinner. No TV, no phone. Just warmth and silence. He did this every night for 10 days. And on day 11, he sent me a message. I didn't expect anything. But this morning, I woke up before the sun, not out of habit, but because I felt like doing something. I felt like someone. It wasn't about sex. It wasn't about youth. It was about feeling alive enough to want again. To feel present in his own body. To look at his wife across the table and feel something warm, not nostalgic, but now. The shift over the next 3 weeks, his tone changed. He laughed more. He walked taller. His hands stopped feeling cold. He started cooking breakfast again. And his wife? She told me later, whatever you gave him, it's not just working. It's bringing him home. That's the quiet magic of natural aphrodisiacs like Clove. They don't turn you into someone else. They simply clear the way back to you. So if you're watching this thinking, that sounds nice, but I doubt it would work for me, let me gently say this. Everett didn't think it would work either. He wasn't chasing change. He was just curious enough to try something gentle. Something real. Something his body had been waiting for. And maybe, deep down, yours has been too. You don't need a prescription. You don't need a new identity. And you definitely don't need pressure. You just need a ritual, one that speaks the language your body still understands. Because what we're working with here isn't a drug. It's a signal. A message to your circulation, your hormones, your nervous system, that says, it's safe to come back online. And that signal can begin with something as simple as clove. Crescent moon. Step 1. The nighttime brew after dinner, ideally 60 to 90 minutes later, fill a mug with hot water. Add 2 whole cloves. Let them steep for 5 to 7 minutes. Optional. Add a small pinch of cinnamon, or a 1/4 teaspoon of raw cacao for richness. Sweeten lightly with raw honey if desired. Then, just sit. No screens. No noise. No multitasking. Let this be your slow down moment. A space between the busyness of the day and the quiet of night. As you sip, breathe deeply, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Not for performance. Just to land back in your body. This is where the ritual does its work. Warmth spreads. Blood moves. Tension drops. And the nervous system shifts into repair mode. Sun Step 2. The morning microdose, optional. Some men prefer to start their day instead. If so, here's the simpler version. Crush 1 or 2 cloves using the back of a spoon. Add to a cup of warm, not boiling, water. Let steep 5 minutes. Drink slowly, while seated, without distraction. Pair this with early sunlight if possible. Your body interprets this combination, light, breath, heat, spice, as a cue to awaken safely. To open, not to brace. And when you start your day with openness, it carries forward. Repeat button. Step 3. Stay consistent, not perfect. This isn't about hitting a target. It's about repetition. Consistency sends stronger signals than intensity. Try the ritual daily for 7 to 10 days. Then, listen. Are your hands warmer in the morning? Do you feel more rested after sleep? Is your breath slower? Are you more curious about touch, about closeness, about life? That's the response. Not fireworks, but flow. Checkmark. A quick reminder: do not overuse. Cloves are potent. Stick to 1 to 2 per day. Do not boil. Just steep gently in hot water. Do not expect overnight results, but do expect signals, and most importantly, don't turn this into another task. Turn it into a return. A return to stillness, to warmth, to sensation, to your body as a place you enjoy being in, not just manage. Because when you create space for your body to listen, it often whispers back with something you forgot you could feel. If you've made it this far, let me say something directly to you: you're not broken. You're not empty. You're not done. You may be tired. You may feel distant from the man you used to be. But the spark you think you've lost? It was never gone. It was buried under years of stress, quiet disappointments, stiff blood vessels, and a culture that told you real men don't talk about these things. But your body never stopped listening. It was just waiting for something honest. Something gentle. Something natural that reminded it, you still belong here. Clove wasn't the miracle. You were. Clove just knocked on the door you stopped opening. And I want you to remember this: intimacy is not about performance. It's not about your age. It's not about proving anything. It's about presence. It's about connection. It's about being alive in your own skin again. And that begins, not with pills, pressure, or perfection, but with one act of quiet attention to your own body's wisdom. That's what this ritual is. That's what that small cup of warmth represents. It's not tea. It's return. Return to flow. Return to warmth. Return to curiosity, affection, desire, not as a memory, but as something still possible. Because if there's one thing I want every man over 60 to hear, it's this: you don't need to become someone else. You just need to come back to yourself. You're not too late. You're not past your prime. You're not out of chances. You are, right now, one small ritual away from remembering where the spark lives. And once you do, you'll never need permission to feel like a man again. Just presence. Just breath. Just you.